Yuvi, tell me a bit more about mediation laws in India and provide some context, please.
Unfortunately, India does not have a stringent or a codified mediation law, but there has been a committee formed on the directions of the Supreme Court of India, which is looking into formulation of a mediation law. It must be apt to point out here that India was one of the first few signatories to the Singapore Convention on Mediation. But having said that, I must bring to your attention here that it is not necessary, just like you may have heard about law of torts. So law of torts is not actionable in India as a law of tort, but it is actionable in India under crimes, under the law of crimes. In a similar manner, we might not have mediation per se as a codified law in India, but as Indians, we've been following it for very, very long. There exists a system called the Panchayati Raj system in India. The Panchayati Raj system in India is a system at village level, then subsequently at a district level, and subsequently at even although it has been scrapped now, but previously it was also existent at the state level. So at the village level, I'll restrain myself only till village level because now it has been codified, and I'll come to that how it has been codified into the Constitution of India now. So previously, before it was codified, the village folk, they used to decide their disputes by going to the five learned men of the village. So you might be wondering, who are these five learned men of the village? When in India, it was difficult for any village folk to travel to the city for getting justice, to travel to the city to even get their matters listed. So they all decided that, all right, these are the five learned men in the village, and they're going to hear both the parties well, and they are going to decide these matters carefully. Although, now this does not appear to be mediation per se, but let me tell you, what does the panchayat do? The panchayat counsels both the parties. They explain to them that, listen, if there is a scope that you can settle this matter, why don't you do it? Otherwise, obviously, the panchayat is going to decide the matter. Now, for a village folk to get justice right there and to place their trust in the five learned men of the village, and these five learned men were elderly people. They had seen the world, experienced with their age, years of spending how the matters are to be resolved. And you won't believe, no one complained against the system. Everyone followed what the panchayat said. So the sarpanch, who's the leader of the panchayat, the senior most member of the panchayat, he held a very, very high regard and position in the society. And from that panchayat system, India in 1992 enacted the 72nd constitutional amendment, 73rd constitutional amendment, and Panchayati Raj system was added as part 9 to the Constitution of India. So now, under the Constitution of India, there is a provision for the panchayat, and these panchayat, or the Panchayati Raj system as we call it, decides all the matters at the village level. And if there is any problem, this Panchayati Raj system addresses issues like how water will be provided to the village folk for irrigation. The Panchayati Raj system tells you about if there are cattle which are grazing and they enter someone else's field, what needs to be done. If there is electricity issues, and if one person claims that the other person has been illegally usurping the electricity from their connection, the panchayat can resolve these issues. So Panchayati Raj system has been strengthened since 1992 by providing it the support under the Constitution of India. It might not appear to be mediation by the hard word of the law, but it is a conciliatory proceeding, and it can be said that there is existence of mediation law in the form of Panchayati Raj system in India. And let me add here, the very recent change in the Lok Adalat Act. Now, so in India, because a lot of people cannot afford to go to courts or to get the matters resolved through a long drawn legal battle, because I think there's no one better than you to understand that lawyers charge a hefty fee while they're arguing matters for their clients. So not everyone can afford it. So in India, we enacted the Lok Adalat Act. Now, what does this Lok Adalat Act do? It says that there are matters which are capable of being resolved through conciliation. So at every district court level, there is a Lok Adalat. At every high court level or at the state level, there is a Lok Adalat. Now, in this Lok Adalat, judges do not sit as judges. They sit as facilitators, as conciliators. And also, there is one member from the legal or the lawyer community who understands the situation better than a judge.